Hello, everyone. Welcome here. Today, we are going to play some Zoo Tycoon 1. At least as soon as this fake computer boots up. There we go. Well, and once the game starts. Finally made it a year. Oh, you people and your streaks. Oh well. So last time, we did the Endangered Species Zoo, I think it was called. I don't remember. Anyway, it's one where we had to breed some specific endangered animals. Which did not end very well. However, I have some ideas for things I want to try that should make it work much better, at least in theory. Also, we almost failed anyway, even if we hadn't failed the guest happiness part, because of the stupid baby octopi, which, yeah, we got to keep that in mind. We're going to have multiple exhibits for them, probably. Okay. So, we're going to start the same basic way we did last time. Step one, of course, is to delete everything on the whole map. Oh, that's right. There we go. I am going to keep the exhibits this time, I think, because that'll save us a little bit of money on animals and stuff. They're not particularly amazing animals, but... Refund Animal Theater? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Okay, we have 2 exhibits and a zookeeper. Those exhibits are both terrible. We're going to rebuild them as a bit of a priority. So we have black bear and a moose. Let's start with the black bear. And this time, I'm going to try something interesting. Hello, Dread. Welcome here. So first of all, let's calculate how large of a exhibit fence we're going to need. Okay. There's 10 tiles. All right, just double counting it real quick to make sure I got it right. So yeah, we're gonna basically do the same thing we did last time, build along here. We need to go set up our research and conservation. Turn all that off for now. Boom. Get us going max on endangered animals. We're gonna need all of those researched, or most of them anyway. Okay, black bear. So if I switch over to the other computer, which you guys can't see, but oh well, you'll have to just imagine. Okay. Let's see. Calculate and exhibit for a pair of black bears. Boom. For animal, where name like black bear. All right. According to this, it should cost about 17,000 to build such an exhibit. And there's the breakdown of what tiles I need. Okay. Let's see how accurate this thing is. To start with, we're going to need 43 tiles of deciduous floor and 21 of coniferous. I'm not sure how that's actually pronounced. And it needs to be, how many tiles? 70 tiles, okay. For a pair. We're going to go ahead and use concrete exhibit fence. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, 3 tiles, 2 solid tiles on either side. Boom. That should be 70 tiles. Okay, let's rotate the camera so I can see this a little better. Now, we needed 43 tiles and 21 tiles. So there's 25, 30, 35, 40, 42. We'll leave it at that for now, actually. No, we won't. Okay, then what was the other one? 21? Okay, 8, 12, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then the last little bit is made up of 3 grass and 3 fresh water, according to this. All right. Let's drop the bear in there and see what he dislikes about this. Because I'm not actually sure if any of this information is correct. Okay. The bear seems to be happy with that terrain. All right. Now, what kind of tree does he like? Trembling aspen? According to the data I've collected, elm trees are cheaper and are also liked by the bear. So, I'm curious what the price difference is and if it's worth it. Okay, there's what the bear likes. Let's find the elm. These are 200, so it's like 75 bucks per tree cheaper to use the other ones. If I can find the damn things. What tree was it? Elm, yeah. All right, let's on pause and see what the... Okay. Supposedly he needs 14 tiles of these. I guess we'll find out. First of all, let's actually lay out some path. Okay. So one thing that's not immediately obvious is that people, well, okay, it is kind of immediately obvious. People like seeing animals. And the design I was using before, with the large separate viewing areas off the main path, kind of works when you have a super full zoo full of picky animals. Well, our animals aren't that picky, hopefully. So we're going to want to go with a path that is a little bit more friendly to people walking past it all the time. Oh, thank you very much for the subscription, Zealith. 48 months. That is indeed 4 years. Holy crap. That is entirely too much time to have wasted here. Anyway, greatly appreciate it. Let's put our starting crossroads right here. So we'll make people come in, walk past the bear, and then into the main area. Hello, survey. Welcome here. Anyway, the bear's exhibit is suitable, quote, end quote. So I'm going to go ahead and dump a few more elm trees for his ass. See, that's 9 tiles of foliage. It's 10, 11, 12, 13. And that should be all the foliage he likes. Now, how many rocks does this say that he wants? According to this, he wants 5 large rocks. Okay. Ka-ching, there's the 99 suitability. Boom, he did indeed want 5 large rocks. It works. Okay. I'm not incredibly surprised it works. After all, the data should all be sound. But, okay. Well, I'm happy with that. We should do the entire fronts with mostly glass. All right, let's ask it about the moose. Okay, now for a pair of moose. Moose, let me find them. Okay, terrain requirements, foliage requirements. Freshwater, 4 tiles, coniferous floor 8, grass 8, deciduous floor 20. 40 tiles total for 2 moose. Really? Okay. Cheapest quarter tile tree is elm. All right. Well, if we only need 40 tiles for moose, that's a nice little convenient baby exhibit. We can just slide it in there. Should be nice and cheap. Now, terrain needs 4 water, 20 deciduous. All right. We'll put the water in the front corner there. That's 16. That's 20. Then we need 8 grass. And, okay. Okay, that should be everything then. Let's see how the moose likes that. Should at least be better than what it's got. Okay, it just wants foliage and housing and all that fun shit. It'll be fine with a wooden shelter, right? Yep. All right. Let's buy a second bear and a second moose. That'll make those a little more attractive. What kind of moose or what kind of bear do we have actually first? You there. Are you a boy bear or a girl bear? It's a boy bear. Okay. Now, how about you, Mr. Moose? You look like a boy moose, judging by those antlers. All right. So basically what I did is Black bear can't find any food. Yeah, that's because your lazy ass zookeeper hasn't got over there yet. All right. Anyway, how many tiles of foliage do they need? 6. That should be the moose requirements, except their rocks. Indeed, they would like more rocks. And they want 1 large rock. Roger that. Anyway, basically what I did is I took the strategy guide for the game that came with it. Okay, that gets them 96%, so it's not perfect, but close. Also, it might not be possible to get more than 96% in an exhibit this size. It depends. All right, next we want to do white Bengal tiger, which we haven't unlocked yet. It'll take a day or two for that. We should go ahead and lower prices to get people in. All right, but anyway, I took the strategy guide that came with the game. I took a bunch, every single one I could find, basically. Source of information about the game from game FAQs and anywhere else I could find that I could grab stuff. And I dumped it all in a directory and I set an agent loose on it and told it to make a database. And it did. It sucked all the information about every single animal into a database. And then I wrote up some rules for how to calculate exhibit costs and requirements from that data. And now I can just ask the agent, I have an exhibit, how large of X number of Y type of animal, and how large does it need to be, and what tiles does it need to have. Which, the how large part is the more useful part, honestly. Particularly in a case like this where I'm trying to make minimum size exhibits. Okay, average guest happiness is 72. Supposedly, when guests arrive, they all have 75 happiness exactly. Okay, white Bengal tiger is now available. I calculated this earlier when I was testing, so let's find it. Okay, white Bengal tiger. I believe they're a 70 tile exhibit. Yep. 3 dirt, 7 fresh water, 10 grass, 50 rainforest floor. Okay. As a 70 tile exhibit, we need 7 front. There we go. Stop trying to use WASD to move the camera. It doesn't work. Okay. Oops. There we go. Now, it was 50 tiles, I believe, of rainforest floor. So boom and boom. And then we need 3 of dirt and 7 of fresh water. All right. Now, let's add a little house over there. Then we'll add our pair of tigers. Need more foliage, happier with more rocks. Okay. 14 tiles with rainforest fern as the cheapest terrain. That'll make them happy. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Let's try. Well, they seem to like rainforest fern. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain about using a cheaper bit of foliage. After all, we're here to save money. We do 2 rows of... Oh. That was 9 tiles. According to this, I need 14 tiles. All right. Well, that was obviously wrong somewhere along the line. But I'll take it. And rocks. 1 large and 2 small, according to this. Yep. Okay, so I'm not sure why it got the foliage wrong, but that's 100% suitable. So I am not going to complain about 100% suitability. Also, let's move the fence over to that side and add a zookeeper. Okay. Now, who's next before we run out of money? Well, first of all, let's get rid of this crap exhibit. Next, I think we're going to put in a traditional 4-animal savanna exhibit. And I think we're going to do it right here, so everyone has to look at it as they go by. So, the problem with the 4-animal savanna exhibit is that you can never make all the animals happy. So hopefully, I can find a solution that gives us relatively even unhappiness across all 4 animals. Let's see what we can find out about these guys. It's going to be a large exhibit. Okay. According to this, it's going to cost us about $20,000 to build this thing. How many tiles total? Unfortunately, it's not. Well, here, why don't I just ask? A 130 tile exhibit. That's pretty large. All right, 8 tiles of dirt, 5 tiles of fresh water, 5 tiles of sand, 5 tiles of grass, and 107 of savanna grass. I'm definitely not going to trust that that's correct, but that should be at least in the ballpark. And the important part is the 130 tiles. So we're going to use post and rail fence for this. And we're going to do it 10 tiles by 13. Okay. That's a pretty sizable exhibit. We'll put the gate directly across from the gate from those guys. Whether or not we'll actually assign this the same zookeeper, or probably assign the same zookeeper as that for now, but. And then I need 107 tiles of savanna grass. Okay. So there's 50. There's 100. That should be 107. The next biggest chunk of terrain. 5 tiles of grass. I don't believe that. 5 tiles of sand, 5 tiles of fresh water, 8 tiles of dirt. Okay, we'll do the 8 tiles of dirt next. How many tiles of water? 5, okay. Okay. This is not going to be perfect for anyone, but it needs to be at least good enough. And then 5 tiles of sand. And then we'll put the animals in and we'll see who's complaining the most about what and adjust from there. Okay. Now, none of the animals should be completely happy. To be clear. If any one of the animals is completely happy, then things are incorrect. Ostrich is the last one. All right, the ostriches. Too much sand, too much grass, not enough shelters. Too much grass, too much dirt, too much sand. Too much grass, not enough dirt. If none of these idiots actually like grass, I'm going to ask where the grass came from. I'm curious. Too much grass. Yeah, none of them like grass. Why the hell is there grass? This gotta say, there's no way that came out correct. All right, there's some bad data in the database. Supposedly the ostrich wants grass, which is obvious bullshit. So let's replace that with savanna grass. And that should get us much closer to a reasonable. All right, let's check everybody and see what their percentage of suitability is. It needs to be at least 70. And we want everybody to be pretty close. Okay, the gazelle is the lowest at 70. So we're going to try to match the gazelle's needs a little better than everyone else. Not enough savanna grass, too much dirt. Would be happier with more rocks. Not enough shelters is probably a big one we can improve right now. I think everyone in here likes lean-tos. So we're going to need at least 2 lean-tos. All right. And then we're going to need to add rocks and foliage. Apparently the tall grass is the cheapest foliage type that they all like in common, so we'll just grab that. That is most of their preferred foliage anyway. And this is going to increase suitability intensely for everyone. Oh. Okay, who didn't like that and who did? The gazelles liked it. They're the least happy, so. Okay, the gazelles liked that too. Okay, that gets the gazelles up to 82% suitability, the wildebeest to 85, the zebras to 87, and the ostrich to 86. Okay, that's pretty good then. I declare this done, except we can add rocks. So, how many rocks do they say we should add? 2 large, 3 small. Okay. I think we'll just add the 2 large and leave it at that. All right, we have a baby gazelle already. Now, I'm going to put the main path all the way around this center exhibit. That way, guests can walk all the way around it, see the whole thing all the time. Guests will always be exposed to this thing, and it should turbocharge their happiness. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I want to add one of these things in some forgotten corner that will never be used for anything ever. Let's stick it over here for now. All right. And then while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and add the rainforest restaurant. Right there. It's the same exact thing as a normal restaurant, but slightly more decorative. I always just place the normal restaurant, but there's no reason to ever use it over the rainforest restaurant. The rainforest restaurant is cheaper, more decorative. I believe it has the same stats and everything. All right. So with the baby gazelle added, this is going to be a super attractive exhibit. So only guests walking on the inside track will be able to see the exhibit. Okay. Let's go ahead and add some more buildings while we're at it. Gonna want a gift shop. I think we'll jam that in over here by the restaurant, maybe? No. Won't quite fit there. I kind of want this space for an exhibit. I definitely want this space for an exhibit. I could put it like... No, I can't actually. Okay, it's going to go right there. We'll probably extend that path out this way maybe, and we'll put an exhibit like here. Yeah. The carousel, I'm going to stick right here. No. Well, that's prime exhibit territory though. Actually, is it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, yeah, we could fit a 70 tile if we made it 10 tiles long this way, 7 tiles out. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But this is kind of a prime spot for an exhibit. But it's also because it borders this, it is prime spot for attractions as well. This might be the best place to put the animal theater, for example. Yeah, I think it is. And if I move the path a little bit, we could put the carousel right there. Okay. White Bengal Tiger 1 has given birth. Hey, hell yeah, that's 10K and one of our objectives. And we just unlocked the Black Leopard, which is the next endangered animal we need to build a thing for. I think. Black Leopard? Yep, baby Black Leopard. Okay. Black Leopard, I remember being a 70 tile exhibit, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Tiles per animal 20? I don't think I believe that. Matter of fact, I'm going to double check that. Let's see. Um, okay, that's not the right file. Okay. Supposedly that is correct. Well, that's going to be a pretty small exhibit then. I'm not going to fully trust this. I'm going to hope it's right, but if it's not, I'm going to be prepared to make a bigger exhibit. We definitely have the money to do so. So I'm not going to be too concerned if it's the wrong size. Let's go ahead and grab a singular leopard. If they are actually 70 tile animals, like I'm thinking they are, then we should be able to tell with one single black leopard if it's right. Okay. That's apparently correct. Actually, no, we would need 2 leopards. Because if it's 35 tile, then yeah. Let's check the other leopard. Okay, it looks like it's correct. I must have built my leopard exhibits way too large previously then. All right. 2 tiles of dirt, 4 of grass, 34 of rainforest. Oh, wait. Okay, that's what? 16, 20, 28, 32. Okay. Needs more foliage, more rocks, and would like a toy. Well, we don't have a toy for it yet, but rainforest floor, rainforest fern, and 2 large and 2 small rocks is rock requirement. Let's go ahead and throw in the rocks first. Okay, rock number is correct. That's very good to know that the rock numbers are calculating correctly. And then let's rotate this so I can see to place the trees. I do want to buy another zookeeper. Okay, you are going to be assigned to the giant exhibit. And then wherever the hell the other zookeeper is, you're going to be assigned to that one as well as the other one. Okay. Lovely. Now, if we check, that's 100% suitability. They would like a toy, but I don't have that unlocked yet, so they'll just have to suck it up. Okay, we've got 5 out of the, how many exhibits was it again that we need? 12? Average guest happiness is 86. That's about as high as it ever rose the last time. So we're not doing too badly on that front. Okay. Happiness 100%. Happiness 100%. Happiness 82%. Hey, you get with the program. Happiness 85%. Happiness 100%. Happiness 100%. Okay. It looks like planned Big Savannah exhibit in the middle is definitely making a gigantic difference. We don't need to breed snow leopards, do we? No, it's just black leopard, okapi, and white Bengal tiger. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in some minimum funding for animal care and staff education. That'll make it a little easier to keep everybody well taken care of. Also, there's an animal fertility research in there somewhere. That'll definitely help. Remove those 2 bits of path, try to force them right past the bear. Maybe they'll see the bear and become happy. Faster. Guests seem very happy with ours. Average guest happiness, 90. Okay, so yeah, this is making a huge difference, being able to see this from everywhere. Stop and look at the happy bear, you asshole. Nope, he's not interested. Okay. Okay. Well, we still have a good amount of cash, so what should we do next as far as animals? We're definitely going to need more. We could do an elephant exhibit. It's extremely attractive, but also it's large and expensive, so probably that's a bad idea until we're rolling in it. I'm kind of waiting for us to unlock the Okapi. Because we're definitely going to want to build a couple exhibits for them. And they're like a day or so away. So, while we wait for that, $40 tiles? Really? I swear I looked them up and they were more than that. Okay. I wonder if animal size requirements went down in the DLC. And that's being reflected in their stats here. For some animals at least. Freshwater 1, dirt 2, grass 2, rainforest 4, 35. Okay. Oh, baby zebra. Well, we're going to do multiple exhibits for these assholes. And because they're picky little shits, we're going to make it so that they can only be seen through a small window. All right. Wait, was that for 1 or 2? Pair. Yeah. All right, 35 tiles. Okay. 16. 32. Should be 35. 1 water, 2 dirt, 2 grass. 1 water, 2 dirt, 2 grass. Now let's add the animals and see if this is anything remotely correct. I'm going to stick 1 in, check it. If it's wildly wrong, then we're getting rid of this animal with the... okay. We're getting rid of it with the back button. Now with 2 animals in there. Okay. And foliage. Good old rainforest bush. Apparently everything likes rainforest bush. Nope. You lie. Oh, that's rainforest fern. Oops. There, rainforest bush. Yeah, they like rainforest bush. Okay. Two small rocks. Okay, the rock numbers all seem accurate. And that gets us to 99% suitability, which is definitely going to be good enough. Let's hire a zookeeper for that. I'm going to build 2 identical exhibits for these bastards, right side by side. And we're going to have 2 pairs of them. Because last time we almost lost because 1 pair weren't interested. I think we actually probably want the wooden shelter, but the concrete shelter, everyone likes the concrete shelter. Or at least everyone's okay with the concrete shelter. Okay. $32. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's go ahead and add the animals. Okay. And I think it was 2 small rocks. Something like that anyway. Let me assign the zookeeper to that one as well. Alright, he should be able to keep track of those 2 small exhibits. Alright, both of those are 99% suitability exhibits. Can't get much better than that in this game. I mean, you can get 100%, but... Common wildebeest 1 is very sick. Well, it's got a dedicated zookeeper. Get your ass over there and take care of him. Where is the dedicated zookeeper? It's exhibit 4. Okay, he was taking care of the wildebeest. I just couldn't see him because he was standing underneath him, apparently. That's 7 exhibits out of the 12 we need. What are we doing on money? Not terribly well yet. Okay. But I did learn something else about the baby animal scenarios. You do actually need to keep the baby animals to win. You need them at the end. What they mean by baby animal is an animal that was born in your zoo. There doesn't need to be anything else, it's just it. You need to have at least one animal who was born in your zoo of a given species. Which means it is possible to have a baby animal born in your zoo and then lose if you were to sell that baby animal. Thankfully, I always sell the oldest animals first, so that's why I didn't know that little bit of tidbit of information. But anyway. We don't really have enough to build a good exhibit for much of anything. I guess we could put a lion exhibit in somewhere. But I don't quite have enough money for that even. No, I haven't built a lion exhibit yet. I really should do that. And put it over on this side to suck people around to this part of the zoo as well. So we don't get overcrowding. Guest happiness is 94. So that's pretty good. We're going to put more exhibits up here. Where would I want to put lions? That is a good question. Okay, happiness. About as high as you can ever get these little bastards. Oh, this one's actually completely happy. They both are. Okay. Better animal food. That's great. Okay. So for lions, it's 20 tiles per animal. I do know that. Because I was using calculations for 40 tile 2 lion exhibits as tests to confirm my math was working. Which means I kind of know how to build one of those by heart by now. It's 4 tiles of dirt, 2 tiles of water, 2 tiles of sand, and the rest savanna grass. But anyway. But obviously that's not the ideal because lions really want at least 3 lions in a pen, so. Our money is slowly going down. Probably because we just hit the end of a month. Yeah, we just hit the end of a month and they paid off a bunch of bills. So we should hopefully start seeing big chunks of money as people start to leave. But to have people actually leave, we need to not have new things for them to see for a while. Also, we're getting 94 happiness, and we've not really put much effort into getting people happy yet. Just nice paths, reasonable fences, and happy animals who are all visible all the time. Okay. I can say with a good deal of confidence that we have this in the bag. We just need to build exhibits for the rest of the animals and hope the guys here produce Alright, anyway, I'm going to build a lion exhibit. And I am going to put it right here beside the gift shop. It's going to be a 60 tile. Blue Ribbon Award for highest customer satisfaction, 25K. That must be for hitting 95 average happiness. Okay, we take those. Okay, so that's 10. And 6. Boom. Glass front all the way across. Boom. Okay. Now, lions are trivial. We don't need to look these bastards up. The main reason I would have looked them up anyway is to find out the size. So it's almost certainly 3 tiles of water, 3 tiles of sand, and then 6 tiles of dirt, probably. Basically add half again as much to the 40 tile result. Okay, lions. 2 females and a male. Okay, that looks like we got the terrain right. And then we add a zookeeper. We'll put another exhibit over here probably for the zookeeper to take care of. All right. And then for foliage, I believe the thorn bush is the cheapest one that the lions are okay with. And since I'm a cheapskate, they can just suck it up. There we get a thing for having 10 species in the zoo, which doesn't give us any money, so who cares? Alright. And then for rocks, I'm just gonna guess. Okay, they actually wanted quite a few rocks. And that gets us to a 95% suitable. We could probably tweak it a little bit and get to 100, but I don't care. 95 is plenty good enough. So we have 10 species in the zoo, but we need 12 exhibits. We have 4 species in here, and we have 2 exhibits that have the same species. So we need 5 more exhibits? Oh, let's stop funding the giant panda. That's a waste. Let's fund animal houses. Sure, why not? Let's bump this up to normal funding instead of minimum. Okay, so that's going to get a lot more people over here to look at the lions. Now, guests seem very happy with your zoo. Really? Alright, I'm going to pen that zookeeper in so he stops wandering all over creation. His reason to exist is to stay in these 2 exhibits, so. There. You can have a little bit of space outside of the exhibit, because if he's penned so he can't exit the exhibit, he gets weird about his job. But this way he should stop wandering all over and just be right there to go in any exhibit as soon as something pops up for him to do. I'll probably end up doing something similar back here. So one thing I discovered when I was doing all the math and such like on this stuff, the highest ratio of attractiveness to exhibit cost is apparently the saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile is not a very attractive animal. But because he's low to the ground, he can use low chain link exhibit fence, which is super cheap. And he has very low foliage and rock requirements. And his terrain requirements are relatively cheap water tiles. And even cheaper dirt tiles. Like dirt costs 20, water only costs 30, but like savanna grass is 70 per tile. So his exhibit is extremely cheap. Not a very attractive exhibit, but a very cheap one. I suppose that might be useful to know. I don't know if it is the cheapest exhibit. I should probably run a script to calculate what the cheapest exhibit would be of all the animals. It might be an interesting thing to know. But anyway. So what else do we need? We need 12 exhibits. Baby black leopard, baby okapi, that's it. And we need to wait a year and a bit. We have 8 exhibits. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yep. So 4 more exhibits. I'm tempted to do another black leopard and okapi exhibit, because they haven't bothered to breed yet. I'm also kind of tempted to put in a hippo flamingo exhibit. How large is a hippo flamingo going to be? Okay, we can use low chain link. We can use low fence for this. It's 130 tiles for 2 hippos and 4 flamingos. That's a pretty substantial exhibit. Minimum cost is only 12k though. But that's with low chain link, which we would probably want to use a different kind of fence. I'd probably use like low concrete or something. We could use low concrete, low plexiglass, low iron bar. Probably low plexiglass. I'd kind of like to build it surrounding this whole thing. So 130 tiles. We get 9 on each side of the restaurant. Okay. Let's calculate it for 139. And then we'll just build it as a big C around the restaurant. This is extravagant, by the way, but that's fine. We can be extravagant. Okay. That's 10 tiles across, which matches what this is sized that way. So we need to make it 13 tiles long from here. We could do a little shorter than that, make it 129 tiles. That'd be good enough. It'd be a little tiny bit too small, but not so too small that it'd be a problem. But we're going to do it a little too large. So 2, 3, 4. There's 5. 4, 5. That's 10. Then we do 3 past that. We're going to have to flatten this whole area too, but that's fine. Go away. Damn bots. Okay. Lovely. Now, this will give us plenty of room for more exhibits and more attractions and stuff like that up each side here. What kind of terrain did we will need? Okay, decided on 16 tiles of savanna grass, 6 of sand. We'll use that for a beach somewhere. 22 of dirt. Okay. Because what the algorithm it's using is trying to do is trying to find the median between the two animals' needs and then picking that for every amount of terrain. So we'll start with 22 tiles of dirt. And that will go how do I want to do this? It'd be kind of cool to do an almost island with a thin neck of sand or something connecting it to the exit. Okay, let's fill the whole thing up with water. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do most of it water with a little island of land. Well, actually, it won't be that little. Oops. I went and confirmed that before adding the dirt back. Okay, so that's 16 tiles of dirt. I needed 22. Okay, that's 20. 2. And then 16 tiles of savanna grass. Oh, wait. Okay, it's probably a good thing I didn't. Okay, well, there's 16 tiles of savanna grass, which means we need to add 16 more tiles of dirt around it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. Okay. 6 tiles of sand. There's our little sand spit leading to where the entrance is going to be. All right, that looks pretty cool so far. That should be everything. Now we just need to add the animals. They're going to want a shelter. Actually, no, I don't think they need shelters for hippos and stuff. Okay, so we sized this for a pair of hippos. That's a lot of hippo. Also, I'm out of money. Oh wait, I forgot. I hadn't claimed the 10,000 yet. Okay. Oh, the hippos are almost happy with this already. Without any terrain or without any foliage or anything. Okay, so we got a breeding pair of hippos. And then we're going to have 4 flamingos. Okay, flamingos aren't complaining about not having a house. Their exhibit suitability is 75%. The hippos is 76. Nobody's complaining about anything terribly important. They would like some foliage, which that's fine. We can add a bunch of that. We'll give them some water reeds. Okay. That gets flamingos to 83 suitability. Hippos to 80. Let's add a rock or two. Split the difference there. Hippos to 81 suitability. Flamingos to 84. Good enough for who it's for. Look at all the people rushing over here to check out this exhibit. Okay, we need a zookeeper for this. Alright. Our guest happiness is 96, by the way. Okay. I could have designed it so that the island attached over here and assigned a zookeeper to the share between these two. But, yeah. It's probably better not to share zookeepers between those two. Yeah, this is a very attractive exhibit. Also, it didn't even cost that much. Like, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't terribly expensive either. Okay. How are these little shits doing? Their happiness is remaining pretty okay. We should probably start researching animal enrichment. There's the animal fertility research, which we need. We can probably do without it, but I don't want to. Silver trophy, best zoo. Okay. I think that's for zoo rating of 90, which, holy crap, I didn't realize we'd just hit that. Alright, our zoo rating's been going up pretty fast. Alright. We only have 4 zoo benefactors. Really? Thought for sure we'd have more by now. Guess not. Okay. Well, we need 3 more exhibits, I think. So, Do we build another black leopard exhibit and 2 more Okapi exhibits? And count on that being good? I'm extremely tempted to do that. Because we can literally just copy these exhibits right over here. And that will give us a much greater chance of getting appropriate baby animals. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Let's do that. Oh. Baby Okapi. Yay! Okay, we don't need to do that after all. Hell yeah. Now we just need a baby black leopard, which is much more likely than the baby Okapi. So I'm much less worried about that now. We have a whole year to get a baby black leopard. I think we can do that. Also, that was before animal fertility finished. Alright. We're good. We just need a baby black leopard and a couple more exhibits. Also, let's go through the animals in here. Sell the extras. Okay, no, that wildebeest is pretty young. We have 2 ostriches, we have 3 zebras. It's full grown. Okay. We need to sell off extra animals, even though they aren't going to like it. Because we don't have enough room in this exhibit for all of these animals. Yeah. Alright. Okay. I think that covers most of that. Yeah, now that everybody's got to look at the hippos, the most of them have wandered off. They're all checking out the baby Okapi now. It's feeling crowded by too many guests. Yep. Well, it's happy enough, so I'm not going to do anything about it. That is, with the baby Okapi, that's probably our most attractive exhibit by a mile now. Okay. How many guests do we have in the zoo? Guest happiness is 96. That's pretty good. Number of guests, 330. How much are we making at the restaurant here? Okay, we should probably buy a second restaurant. I think I'm gonna get a standard restaurant, put it right here, and then we'll put a large exhibit down here beside it. something out here. We got a baby moose and a baby flamingo. Alright. Well, the baby flamingos can increase the flamingo exhibit attraction a little bit. What should I put down here? Maybe we should do an elephant exhibit down here. I haven't done an elephant exhibit in a very, very long time. Like, it was never an exhibit I built very often, even back when I was younger and used to play this game a lot more. But it's a large exhibit. Elephants need 50 tiles each, I think. So it'd be to at least here. Big old 10 by 10. And we could make it a little larger than that. Extend down into there, but I don't think I would. This is not going to be a cheap one, that's for sure. Okay. Let's pen the zookeeper in. Okay, 100 tiles for 2 animals. 10 dirt, 10 sand, 15 fresh water, 65 savanna grass. I do have the elephant shelter available, don't I? Yes. Small elephant shelter. 3 elephants, that should be plenty. Okay, 65 tiles of savanna grass. That's 50. Let's see. That should be 65 right there. 15 fresh water, 10 sand, 10 dirt. 15 fresh water? That's a lot. Okay. That'll work. And then we'll fill this in with savanna grass. That should be good enough. We've got money. Let's see how much the elephants are going to cost a piece. 2,500? Okay. Okay, like a toy, like more rocks, more foliage. Otherwise, he's fine. Okay, what kind of foliage do you guys want? Baobab tree? Yeah, right. That's a single tile tree, so we're not wasting a whole tile on. Okay. Apparently they like thorn bushes. And for this size of exhibit, we'll need 2 large rocks. Yep. Okay. And then thorn bush is this right here. Okay, they don't actually want that much foliage. That only gets us 88% suitability. So I'm willing to bet that there's some numbers that are off somewhere in the terrain. But it doesn't actually say it's wrong, it's just... Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's just that they're picky and this is too small of an exhibit to get it perfect. That happens sometimes. But anyway. Now, where is their zookeeper? There he is. Go take care of the elephants. They're reasonably happy. Exhibit suitability is high enough. TM. Alright. Elephants are another extremely attractive exhibit. Surprised it didn't cost more than it did. Okay. I think in theory, since elephants don't jump, we could have used the short walls, which would have made the exhibit a little cheaper, but that really doesn't matter. This compost building is raking in the money, if you'll pardon the pun. Apparently we have a lot of very shitty animals. This restaurant's making good cash now too already. Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We take those. Okay. We need 12 exhibits. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 2 more. Okay, we don't care about anything in conservation anymore, so let's go ahead and turn that off. Yeah. 2 more exhibits, and we have most of a year to build them in. I don't know, guys. Do you think we're going to have enough time? It's August already, and we only have a year and a half. I don't know about this. Also need these damn black leopards to produce progeny. I could go ahead and build another black leopard exhibit. That might help a little bit. Yeah, there's multiple baby flamingos in there now. Oh, there's a baby hippo too. Okay. Well, that's definitely not going to do anything bad to the to the attractiveness of that exhibit. We're receiving a decent amount of donations directly to the exhibit here too. Not like a huge amount, but you never receive a huge amount of it. Guest happiness is 97. Yeah. This is where I wish we had a fast forward button. This is where I wish we had a fast forward button. Because we have this one finished. Effectively. I just need to build a couple more random exhibits. They can be anything. As long as they are a valid exhibit that is at least 70% suitable for whatever animal's in it. That's all we need. One of the wildebeests is all grown up. Looks like we've got baby ostriches. Okay. Okay. Well, baby lions. We do have 13k cash. That's probably enough to put together at least the beginnings of an exhibit. How much money are we making? Last month we made about 2,500 in emissions, about 16k in private donation, or not 16k, 1,600 in private donations. Sold about 10,000 in concessions, and made about 1,500 in recycling benefit. I don't think I sold any animals or anything special last month. And then we spent a good bit more than that total. A lot of that was per buying animals and building, though. Employee wages, zoo upkeep cost are about 7,000. 8,000 with marketing. Okay. So we're making 4,000 or 5,000 a month, probably. Yeah, like this month we've done nothing as far as building anything, and we've already made almost 5,000. Oh, there's another baby okapi. Sure. Why not? Now where's the baby black leopard, damn it? Oh well. Oh well. Guest happiness is 97. Zoo rating is 90 still. Okay. How many guests do we have in this place? It's got to be a good number. 475 guests already. 74. Whatever. Okay. The restaurants are making good money. As expected. We could go ahead and throw in some animal houses and stuff like that. I don't think I'm terribly concerned about that. Our happiness is staying up just fine without having to try to boost it up anymore with that kind of thing. Yeah, we could go ahead and scatter some animal houses around. Put a deadly snakes of the world over there. And then... oh, I don't know. Here's the Prairie Dog Cafe, which is another version of the restaurant. See, some of these things were added, like the Rainforest Restaurant. I'm pretty sure that was added as one of the DLCs. Like this game, there was the base game. And then they added a variety of downloadable content packs for it. You could go to their website and just download an animal and a couple buildings. And then they packaged some of those downloadable content packs together as an endangered species pack or something, together with a few new animals. And then there were the two paid-for DLCs, Dinosaur Digs and Marine Mania. So with the Zoo Tycoon filter on, which it is by default for all the scenarios, or the base game scenarios, it'll only show you things that came from the base game, but also some things that came from some of the content packs. So like the Prairie Dog Cafe, I think this came along with the Mexican Grey Wolf. And I'm not sure about the Rainforest Restaurant. The Arctic Gift Shop, I think, came with some animal. The Nacho Stand, I think, came in along with Mexican Grey Wolf. Yeah, most of the buildings that have a background color that is not this kind of off-white one came in with a DLC pack. And I think the background color actually indicates which pack they came with. Because if you notice, the one for the Nacho Stand and the one for the Prairie Dog Cafe match. Yeah, like the animatronic theater and nocturnal house match. 500 guest. We don't get any money for that, but... there aren't really any people leaving it, I don't think. At least there haven't been that I've noticed. Let's check through the scenario objectives real quick. 70 exhibits. Suitability rating of 70 for 12 exhibits. So we need a couple more exhibits. A baby black leopard. That's the only thing we're missing still. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exhibits. Yeah, we need 2 more exhibits. You could just throw in some minimum lion exhibits or something if you really needed to, but exhibit is not large enough for the number of animals it currently holds, which means we need to sell some flamingos. Okay, originally we had 4 flamingos, 3 females and a male. And it looks like flamingos 5, 6, 7, and 8 meet those needs perfectly. So that means we can sell flamingos 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which they're not going to like because they like being parts of large groups. But they're going to have to suck it because we need to get the numbers in here under control. Alright, the hippo is still young enough that it's not a problem. Yep, we got a baby elephant. That's going to buff up the attractiveness of this exhibit massively. They're complaining about a toy. There's a toy right there, you dumb shits. Okay, whatever. What animal would be fun to build an exhibit for? We could do a Yeti exhibit. Like, here, okay, right here's a DLC animal. Magnet the polar bear. This little bastard is some polar bear from some specific real-life zoo. It is just literally just a reskinned polar bear with custom animations. I have no idea why you'd ever want to put this stupid thing in your zoo. Here's courtesy of Baltimore Zoo. Okay, whatever. Nobody cares about Baltimore Zoo. If I want polar bears, there's a perfectly good one right here. But anyway. I don't really want to do polar bears. They're boring. We could do a Java rhino. Or we could do a rhino. Do you think it'd trample guests for us? Let's look at saltwater crocodile, actually. Because saltwater crocodile... Okay, saltwater crocodile is extremely cheap exhibit. I want to see how cheap it actually is. Okay, 40 tiles, which explains why it's so cheap. 8 tiles of dirt, 32 tiles of salt water. 4 tiles of foliage. And that's it. I think we're going to stick it right in here beside these guys. So, let's do the same low plexiglass. That should be 10 tiles right there. Low concrete is no different than the low plexiglass, but it's the thought that counts, I suppose. Let's go ahead and flatten this place out. There we go. Now, 8 tiles of dirt. The rest salt water. Yeah, that's a pretty cheap exhibit. And then for foliage, let's go ahead and add the animals first. These guys do not need... Okay, happier with more rocks, happier with more foliage. We already knew that much. These guys do not need any kind of building for themselves, no shelters. Supposedly they need 4 tiles of foliage. Nope. You only need 3. Okay. And how many rocks do they need? 1 large rock. Alright. That gets us 100% suitability. Man, that's an easy exhibit. Okay. Well, they're going to be very low zookeeper maintenance, so we will share the zookeeper between them and the hippos. They're not a very attractive exhibit, but... being just this tiny little thing with barely any terrain costs. Like salt water is 60 per tile, so it costs twice as much as fresh water. Yeah. But there's no... The foliage is super cheap. Fencing's super cheap. Alright, well we need one more exhibit to get the requirements. I'm tempted to just do another black leopard. Do we have the leopard climbing tree unlocked yet? No, we don't. Okay. When I was a kid, this list of animals seemed like it was just huge. Went on forever. But there's really not that many different animals in the base game. Like, Bream Mania adds a good number of them, and so does Dinosaur Digs, but there's really not that many animals in here. Well, that's fine, though. It's a good enough selection that it doesn't feel incredibly small or anything. Could build a decent sized zoo and still have animals left over. Yeah. I think we are going to go ahead and build a second black leopard pen. It's cheap and easy. Yeah, there's people over here to see the crocodiles now. Guest happiness is still only 97. Only. Alright. Four tiles across the front like so. Boom. Alright. We'll assign another zookeeper to this one. Be a little awkward. We better buy a maintenance worker too, because there's the first bit of worn down fencing that I noticed. Okay. Now, 2 large rocks, it looks like. And then two grass, 3 grass, 4 grass, 4 grass and 2 dirt. Okay. I should do it, I think. And then they want rainforest fern. Let's go ahead and add the cats. Black leopard. I almost put them in the octopi pen. That would be bad. Okay. And then we assign this zookeeper. And that is a 98% suitable exhibit. Feeling crowded by too many guests and would like a toy. Alright. Well, they have to suck it up. Actually, they don't have to suck it up. Let's give them a little bit of a solid front there. Smaller windows so that less guests can see it at a time. That might help it some. Alright. Is that enough exhibits? It should be. It is. Okay, good deal. So now we just need a baby black leopard and then we wait till we win. Which will happen in another while. As long as you don't pause it. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but it'll be a while. Now, of course, we can go ahead and build more exhibits. Nothing is stopping us. Or we could start wildly spending money on prettying things up. I don't think we really need to do that. We've got enough decorations around. That fence is looking a little bit sketchy. Hey, you maintenance worker, get your ass over there. Yeah, that one right there. Okay, those are definitely all adult hippos. Let's sell one of them. Okay. Saw one of those bastards. Just checking through, making sure. We clear out excess animals. Okay, we have 2 wildebeests, 4 ostriches. Okay, we better sell some of those. Okay. How many lions do I have? 5, okay. There are 6 months left to complete the scenario. Hell yeah. Okay, the lions are fine for now. They're still mostly immature. Alright, I think that takes care of the excess baby counts for now. We check our operating profits here. Money's rolling in a little bit. We have 8 zoo benefactors, which is not amazing, but not terrible. 600 guests. Pretty decent. Guest happiness is 97. Zoo rating is 91. It went up 1 point. And we have 6 months to have one of these stupid black leopards produce a kid. Hurry up. They're all happy. More or less. Where is your zookeeper? Because I'm at 5. Oh, okay. He's that hungry just because he let himself get that hungry. There is food there. Lazy bastard. Let's bump our research costs up. We still don't have the cat climbing tree. It's unfortunate. We could use that. I'm going to go ahead and save the game here. That way, if we don't end up with a black leopard, we have 6 months to try again. With plenty of money to build more black leopard exhibits if need be. Because in case of emergency, I can just stamp out a whole row of black leopard exhibits back here, and we'll see. Usually they're not a problem. Like, they're more of a problem than the white Bengal tiger, generally. But compared to the okapi, they're super easy to breed. They're just not being cooperative. Oh well. I'm really happy with how the hippo exhibit turned out. I like the way it looks. The Savannah animal one here is uninspired, but fine. It's just kind of your average minimum size, stamped out. 2 of each animal. 4 animal Savannah exhibit. be much cooler if I made it like twice as large or something and put larger herds in there. Alright, it's time to sell some lions. Alright. It's quite a few people for the dinky little size of this zoo. Which is not too surprising, we've got a lot of people in it. We've got a lot of high attractiveness exhibits. And our admission price is set low. And we're running $1,000 zoo marketing. Which we could probably reduce the zoo marketing and still pull in lots of people. Because the way what zoo marketing does is it puts an offset onto your zoo rating for the purposes of if somebody deciding to arrive or not. So I believe as long as your zoo rating is over a certain amount, zoo marketing doesn't do anything. Because I don't think you can go over 100 for perceived zoo rating. I don't think. There we go, cat climbing tree. I don't think this will encourage them to produce baby cats any quicker, but it will make them slightly happier. That gets suitability to 100 for both of them. Thompson's Gazelle 1 has died of old age. Okay. That means we need a new male Thompson's Gazelle. Also, we're barely a year in. And we have a Thompson Gazelle keeling over. This is another reason why it would have been nicer to have a larger Savannah exhibit. Because some of the animals that are in here are not terribly long-lived. And so a larger exhibit. Well, there goes Thompson Gazelle 3, who was born in the zoo. Also keeled over. That's a bit absurd. Like, I could kind of see the one we bought dying of old age, but the child of the ones we bought, less likely. Anyway, so some of the things like the Thompson Gazelle are pretty short-lived. So if you have a large herd of them, then you'll tend to have lots of baby ones running around. And you can sell the adults as they get older, and you're less likely to have to buy new ones. Instead, they'll just make their own replacements, and you can cycle through them. But with our small 2-animal herd, it's not really... doesn't work out very well. It's much nicer to have like a 4-animal or something herd for the gazelles. Or boar even. I think you can have like 10 or even more. So if I was doing like a really long freeform game, I might build something like this to start with, but then later, once I was really making the big bucks, it would be extremely tempting to build just a gigantic exhibit somewhere with massive herds of all the different animals wandering around, because that would be an insanely attractive exhibit. Well, there goes zebras. One of them. Saltwater crocodile 2 has given birth. We has a baby crocodile. Oh, we have multiple baby crocodiles. Okay. Nice. That should raise the happiness on that, or not happiness, the attractiveness of that exhibit quite a bit. Baby animals are almost universally 3 times more attractive than adults. There's a couple of exceptions, but I'm not sure if they're actual exceptions or if they're mistakes in the sources I found. If you damn cats could produce a baby cat, they're plenty happy. They just haven't rolled the small chance of reproducing. I guess I could add another exhibit for them. It's not like we're short on cash. And it's not like I have anything better to do either. Okay. Now. We're going to build the exact same exhibit, basically. Okay, roger that. It'd be kind of nice if you could save a blueprint and paste it, but that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of the game, honestly. You're not really supposed to stamp out giant groups of identical exhibits. However, sometimes there we go. Okay. 100% suitability. Perfect. Yay! Black Leopard 2 has given birth. Okay, that was the first exhibit back here. So we just built this extra one for nothing. That should be... Oh. Okay, Plains Zebra 3 died of old age. However, I noticed before that Plains Zebra 3 had a young zebra. So hopefully it's a replacement. It is not a replacement. Damn it. Okay, well we're going to sell Plains Zebra 4 preemptively. And we're going to buy a new Plains Zebra. So that we still have a breeding pair. Okay. So if we check the scenario information, we have completed all the objectives. Now, as long as something doesn't happen that causes guest happiness to drop catastrophically, we should be good. Yeah, so this is like a freeform game and not a scenario. At this point, I would definitely have, well, before this point even, I would definitely start considering how to take some of these small exhibits and make them larger. Because we don't need these dinky little minimum size ones. We could have much nicer and larger ones. We've got the money to do it. The elephant exhibit, I'd probably wrap it around the restaurant. Lion exhibit, I'd probably wrap around the back of the gift shop and have another viewing area over here. The hippo exhibit, it'd be nice to make that a little larger. It doesn't have to be larger, but it'd be kind of cool to add like a little bit on the back of it, make it bigger. This thing definitely needs to be bigger, but I'd have to relocate that completely, I think. And then, of course, all of these exhibits along here are, yeah, not great. I'd probably just strip this center wall out and sell a pair of the yokotai to give them a double-sided one. I don't think these guys are happy in groups of more than 2. If I could run a herd of 4, I definitely would. Or a herd of 3 actually might be a little better. Yeah, a lot of these I just like to add a little bit of space extra on top of it so I don't have to be quite as on top of selling the animals as they grow up. Yeah, right there's our hero, Black Leopard 2. It's almost the end of the scenario. It's late March. Okay, where? Oh, he was in the shelter, that's why. There we go. Okay. How much were you making a month? Making about 12, 13K on concessions. We could probably add another restaurant. Private donations. We got 10K for birth of an endangered animal last month, so that doesn't really count. Missions income is remaining the same as ever. We are up to 13 zoo benefactors. So that's helping a little bit. But it's not like a major source of income at the moment. I'm kind of surprised we don't have more zoo benefactors. I think it's partially because we don't have enough people leaving. Like this guy is probably leaving. He's at happiness 100. No? He's been in the park a short time. Well, I'm wondering how are you heading back to the entrance for? No, he did leave. Okay. Whatever. I'm fine with that. Every happy guest who leaves is another chance at a zoo benefactor. And every zoo benefactor is a chance to get more money at the start of every month. I don't think there's anywhere that actually tells us the exact amount we've gotten from benefactors. Like private donations include donations to an exhibit directly. It also includes money you receive. Okay, it's April 1st. We only have $1 listed as private donation. I thought they gave their money at the start of the month. So maybe we don't. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. We've gotten a relatively large amount of rewards for this one. I kind of wish you could break down financials a little bit more. Anyway, we have April, and then May and June yet, so we're a few months away. And I highly doubt anything of note is going to change until then. Guest happiness is staying high. There is one possible thing that could go horribly wrong yet. Oh, look, there's another black leopard. Okay, sure, whatever. And that would be if our last baby animal given species died. So if White Bengal Tiger 3, for example, died, I mean, it's no longer a baby animal, but it is a born in our zoo animal, which is what they actually mean by that. So if this animal was to die or get sold, I think we would lose. Speaking of which, we need to clean one of these guys out. You, get out of here. Okay. Okay. Need the maintenance worker to get over there and repair those fences. Also, this fence is wearing down. That'd be another way we could possibly lose if animals broke out of the enclosures and ran around. That might drop guest happiness a little bit. Depending on which animals got out. I think they would run from any animals that got out, but which animals are likely to get out is a bit varied. Where is our maintenance worker? He's over there. Okay, so he was... Let's go ahead and shuttle him around to some of the broken fences I see. He's going to fix a fence. Oh, over there. Monitoring zoo. Okay, that's all the fences. Because we built most of the fences out of the high quality concrete stuff, it's fairly unlikely that we will need to actually seriously worry about it. It takes quite a while for fences to deteriorate enough that it's a problem. At least for the good quality ones. Oh. Chain link, on the other hand, will turn to dust very quickly. Also, this stuff we got going here where we have the entrances blocked off, that's bad from one perspective, as in maintenance workers can't get inside the exhibits to do anything inside them. Like this middle wall can't be repaired. It won't be a problem for us, but on a longer lived zoo, you couldn't do tricks like that. Not unless you wanted to go around and manually replace the fences, which you can do. But also it tends to be fairly expensive, so. Guest happiness has dropped. It's only 96 now. Oh no, what will we ever do? As long as it doesn't drop anymore, we'll be fine. I'm going to modify our entrance a little bit. There. This is a very odd entrance. I've never done an entrance anything like this before. But I wanted to have exhibits lined up against that wall. I could have very easily done it differently. But that seems to work. Restaurants are raking the money in every month. We should probably get a third restaurant. Where should I put it? The restaurants are all pretty centrally located. We could stuff one back here at the end of this path. That would be somewhat inconvenient for the zookeeper going back and forth to these exhibits, though. I could stuff one over here. I'm going to put a good old traditional restaurant right here. It's maybe a little close together, but I don't know where else I'd put one, really. All research is done. We've definitely got plenty of people going over to this restaurant too, which is good. More money, more better. I don't think guests can see that, but let's just put some fencing around it to make sure. Okay. The doubled slightly out of phase restaurant sounds are a little bit annoying. Guest happiness is back up to 97. Probably has been for a while. Okay. Yeah, things are going well. How many people do we have in the zoo? 810? Okay. That went up quite a bit from the last time I checked. We definitely need to make the zoo bigger if we are going to get many more people in there. I could probably raise admission prices. Oh, what are the breakpoint prices again? I can never remember. I know one is $19, but I don't remember what the other one is. They're like 25 or something. Guess we'll see. That'll probably make the guests stop saying how much they like our price, but our zoo rating is high enough that we're not going to have trouble with getting plenty of people in. I don't remember what the exact things that go into the zoo rating are. We could probably get a higher zoo rating. There he is. Get back in there and take care of all the shit. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what all the stuff that goes into the zoo rating is. Part of it's guest happiness, part of it's animal happiness. There's a bunch of other things that go into it as well. Or at least a few other things. Our animal happiness is actually exactly the same as guest happiness for right now. Usually having incredibly high animal happiness is not a problem. We just have a few naturally unhappy animals. Like these little shits, bringing our average down. Oops. You belong in there. Only 1 month left. Oh no, what will I ever do? Yeah, honestly, the biggest weakness of the scenario system in this game is its time limits. White Bengal Tiger 2 has died of old age. Okay. Well, let me buy a replacement. Let's check the scenario objectives one last time. Every single one is checked off. And now we just wait for this to tick down to the end of the month. How many people do we have? 833 guests. That's a lot of guests in the zoo. More baby lions. Okay. Wait a second. Yeah, we've got way too many lions in here. Okay, female, male, female. That should have the right number of lions in there now. They don't have enough shelters. Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Baby animals don't count against the size of the exhibit, but they do count against the shelter's capacity. And shelter capacity for this is 4. So we have 1 too many lions in there. Alright. We almost have 100,000. So the zoo has made its starting costs back. Plus a bunch. Which is pretty good. Because if you sell everything in the zoo at the start of the game, it costs, you get like 90,000 starting cash, I think it is. So we've more than made all of our starting funds back. So our zoo is a lovely, profitable enterprise. And aside from the effort required to run around and sell off excess animals all the time, it doesn't really require any effort on my part. Okay, we should probably sell some of these crocodiles. I think there's too many of them. Okay. Got that under control. Didn't we have a third wildebeest in there, or did I sell him off a while ago? I sold him off, okay. The white Bengal tiger is sliding across the ground while laying there. There are some animation bugs and stuff in this game. Uh-oh. White Bengal Tiger 3 has died of old age. Okay, it doesn't count that against us, apparently. Okay, so I must have been wrong about that. Yeah. It doesn't seem to actually count that against us. Okay, good. I am going to not grab another save because there's nothing we can do about it. If it does count against us, we'll have to go back to 6 month save and hope we... Okay, we've won. Yay! Hallelujah. Alright. Now, we have the advanced scenarios to do. Island Zoo, African Savanna Zoo, Mountain Zoo, and Tropical Rainforest Zoo. Okay, well, Island Zoo is a 24-month scenario. Average guest happiness of 93. Zoo rating of 75. That's trivial. Average animal happiness of 93. That's trivial. Exhibit suitability rating of 85 for 10 exhibits. We could not adjust the height of the terrain during this scenario. And if we go look at the scenario, yeah. Welcome to Zoo Hell. This is not a good place to build a zoo. And I have no idea how I want to lay things out. We need to fit 10 exhibits on these dinky little weirdly shaped islands. All right. We'll put something back here. This will be an exhibit. Man. No matter what we do, this is gonna suck. It's like this, we'll probably run a path along the edge and then jam an exhibit as close to it as we can. And we can probably fit a fairly large one in here. Or 2 or 3 maybe even. Because we do have to get high guest happiness. That does mean we're going to want to follow the same basic approach we just followed for the last zoo. Namely, a couple of large, high attractiveness exhibits that can be seen from as many places as possible. We don't want large sections of path where guests can't see animals. Like this area is going to be a real pain in the ass to put in. We can put some like 40 tile exhibits here. We could fit 2 40 tile exhibits across this area. Run a path right along here. We could fit another 40 tile exhibit maybe along this side. And those would be sandwiching the path tightly, so they'd have to be exhibits that are not sensitive to large crowds. So they'd have to be some happy animals. And then if we turn the corner here and come down this way, then we could fit more 40 tile exhibits across here. Something larger could go in this corner. Something over here. We could probably fit 7 exhibits on this island alone. And we need 10. One over here. And then like one over here. Okay. That's not that bad then. We fit a bunch of relatively small, not that attractive exhibits out here. Just kind of whatever random shit we can think of. And then we put something fairly nice here. Maybe we put the lions here or something like that. And then like over here on this island, we jam in a relatively large mixed savanna exhibit as like the centerpiece of the zoo. We run path all the way around the outside edge and fill the entire middle with the giant exhibit. And then we jam restaurants and stuff in corners like out here. Put one over here somewhere, maybe. Another. Put a gift shop in somewhere, obviously. So let's say we fit 5 or 6 exhibits on this island. We could fit a concession of some sort over here. Put one, put one long skinny exhibit here. Maybe saltwater crocodiles or something simple like that. And then something slightly more complicated here. Path there. Some kind of building up here if we have to. Some kind of building here maybe. There'd be enough space for it. Or we could do the exhibit in here. We can fit another long skinny exhibit here. We could probably fit 2 long skinny exhibits in this area. So 4 exhibits in this area. 1 on each side of the path here. 2 on this side of the path here. Something in there. So we can easily fit 5 in this area. And then a 6th one here maybe. Or a 6th one here and a building here would also be a good idea. Because if we ran the path like right there, this would be great for a building and this would be great for an exhibit. That would make this less enticing for an exhibit though. Unless, yeah, I don't know. We could put a dead end back in there with a exhibit wrapped around it. Run a path like this. Put some kind of building here. Exhibit here. Either one giant one or 2 small ones in this area. This area I would write off. We wouldn't use it for anything. Nothing out here. That's too far away from the main entrance. I think we can fit 6 exhibits over here. 7 with the large one. 8 with that. And then I guess we could figure out how to fit 2 here to get 10. Like this shouldn't be too hard. We would just run the path in like that, over to here, over to there. And then we just 1 exhibit here on the end and 1 exhibit here on the side. It would mean we'd have to jam all our concessions over this area. But if we put like 1 here, 1 here, we could have a restaurant here. Okay, animal theater is probably too big. We probably just straight up don't have an animal theater in this place. Like restaurant would fit perfectly right in here, yeah. We could also use the smaller restaurant if we had to elsewhere. Japanese garden's too big, really. We're not going to do that probably. We can't quite fit a carousel up there. We could fit one here if we had to. That's obviously also prime real estate for an exhibit. Okay, we can't fit a restaurant up there. Is there anything smaller I could fit up there? Gift shop's too big. Okay, so this island's no good for a building. That's good to know. Yeah, we're going to be careful how many buildings we put in. Because we put a restaurant, we're going to put a restaurant right here. This is going to have a restaurant. I've decided that. This over here, I think, is going to be a gift shop. There will be a gift shop here. Restaurant here, gift shop here. I don't know where a carousel is going to go. We might put one here. That'd be a reasonable spot for it. Or even here. That's fine too. I don't want to make guests have to walk across this long ass path. This is just gonna, this island we're not gonna even try to touch. This island's fairly large and would be interesting, but it's a long ways away from the entrance and we don't want guests to walk that far. We want to crunch everything close to the entrance as we can so that happiness stays high. So we're going to be looking for animals that have small exhibits except the mega savanna exhibit that's in the middle here. That's going to be a major exception. All right, let's bulldoze everything that's in here to start. That'll get us actually quite a bit of money. 16K. And then we'll lay out some brick path. Following some of the known actually, let's do that a little differently. Okay. Then this is going to run over there, and then we'll have a little dead end viewing area there. All right, how many tiles is this? It's 8. Okay, 14. Here. I need something I can write some notes in. Okay. The top section here is 8 by 3. Then we have 14 by 7. Yeah, 14 by 7. And then another 3 by 8 section. With 3 more tiles. Okay. So we have 51 tiles. It's 149 tiles. Yeah, that'll be enough for a Savannah exhibit. It's only 19 tiles larger than what we need, but it'll be large enough for a Savannah exhibit. So it's not hugely large enough, but it's large enough. All right. And this is going to get a dedicated assigned zookeeper. How many tiles did I say that was? 149. Okay. Okay. 9 tiles of dirt, 6 tiles of fresh water, 6 tiles of sand, 6 tiles of grass. Except the grass doesn't actually exist. It's just an error in the database, which I need to track down after this. Okay, 6 tiles dirt, 6 tiles sand, 9 tiles, or 6 tiles water, 9 tiles dirt. Okay, we'll have a little watering hole out in the middle. Sure, whatever. And then the rest of it, gets to be savanna grass. It's a very expensive exhibit, but also it's extremely attractive, which should set us off on the right path right away. Okay, now, three large rocks. And we need the lean-to shelters. We'll put the shelters over there. I'm not putting them right up tight against the fence because also, as much as I'd like to make this larger, we're just not going to be able to do that. Larger's in more animals. Okay. I don't see anything weird about the suitability compared to last time. Let's go ahead and assign his ass to that. That took up a huge amount of our money. Oh well. So we're going to build our next group of exhibits along here. It's the direction we're going to head. I am going to put a compost building somewhere out in the Ascend of Beyond, where we're definitely not going to have any guests ever. And then we're going to start placing grass. They're just got to suck it up and be happy with a little bit more foliage than they really want. Okay. Now let's lower our prices a little bit, and let's go ahead and turn on marketing because we need more people. And there we go. Now, lions over here. I think that's what I had originally decided. First, I have to figure out how much space is here. Okay, 7 by 6 plus 12 plus 9, actually. That's 50 tiles. That's not enough for 3 lions. Oh, okay, so no, we're not putting lions there then. What would I want to put there instead? Something pretty attractive, ideally. That means we're going to put lions over here. Get people sucked over toward the restaurant more. So, got 16 tiles here. So there's enough for 1 lion right here. Basically. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's do... Okay, there's 21 tiles. There's 41 tiles. And that should be 61 tiles. And that should be a 60 tile lion exhibit. And I can build a 60 tile lion exhibit. Not quite in my sleep, but okay. Three water. Three sand. Six dirt. The rest savanna grass. Okay. One male, two females. And then thornbush? Yep. Let's rotate the view so I can see decently. All right. "93 suitability. What am I missing? Okay. No. All right. I think we'd probably be a little better off if we use the correct tree, quote, end quote. But they'll be happy with that. It didn't get us the 100% suitability money, which we kind of need. All right, let's try replacing these with better trees. That did not get us more suitability. I was gonna say, I didn't really think the exact tree type mattered. Oh well. Actually, I wonder... I don't remember how many lions like the... or how many lions a small lion rock is needed for. Okay, that got us to 98 suitability. We're so close. Let's replace a few more of those trees. There we go. Okay, it was the trees. They like those trees, but they're not quite as good. But that got us our 100% suitability and got us our money, so that was worth having the slightly more expensive trees for part of the exhibit foliage. Okay. So that's 2 of the 10 exhibits we need. Yeah. As long as we can keep that guest happiness at 93, we will, or get it to 93. We're currently at 84, which is a good start. We just need to build 10 exhibits, which we'll get to eventually. Now, we don't want to build that we have 50 tiles to build it with. Boom. We have exactly 50 tiles of space in here, I calculated. I think. $22, $33. 50. Wait. 33. 40. Yeah. And then 50. Yep. Okay, we got exactly 50 tiles now, not counting these 4 tiles of future viewing area. Okay. So what do I want to do that has 20 tiles per animal or 25 tiles per animal? And I want it to be fairly attractive. As much as I'd love to do a hippo flamingo exhibit, I don't think it's going to happen because of how large it is. We could do a smaller hippo flamingo than one we did in the previous zoo, with like 2 flamingos and a hippo. But no, we're not doing that. Warthog maybe? Or we could put a kangaroo. Which I don't think kangaroo, I think kangaroo likes larger groups. That's probably a bad idea. Definitely not a bison. We could put a Bengal tiger up there. How much space? Bengal tigers, were they a 70 tile or were they? Let me scroll back here. Bengal tiger. 70 tiles. Okay, so we can't put Bengal tigers in there. Black bear would fit, I think. Or wait, was that a 70 tile one? Moose, I think, was the 40 tile one. They're kind of, I don't really. I'd like to stick a savanna animal up there, actually. Keep the theme going. Giraffe, there's no way it'll fit 2 giraffe in 100 or 50 tiles, I mean. Buffalo, but only a pair isn't really. Hyena are another pack animal. African wild dog is another large pack animal. Warthog's probably a good one, I guess. How much space do the warthogs need? Um, okay, red kangaroo would fit. Actually, you can fit 2 red kangaroo and 40 tiles, 1 cheetah, 1 black rhino, or 3 gazelle. Um, also a few other things. Let's see. We could fit one elephant, but you wouldn't want to have just one elephant. Common wildebeest could fit. Giraffe would not fit. You could fit one giraffe, but not two. African buffalo could fit two. One hippo. One cheetah. Cheetah would probably be a good one. You'd only be able to have one. Attractive is not bad for a single animal exhibit. I don't want single animal exhibits though. So red kangaroo would probably be better because they've got their high attractiveness. We could fit a pair. We could use low fence. Yeah, let's do cheetah. Not cheetah. Kangaroo. Damn it. If I could fit two cheetah, I would absolutely do cheetah, but okay. Now, we're going to have the same zookeeper do these two, I think, if I can. Kangaroo. All right. 30 tiles savanna grass. 1 tile of fresh water, 4 of sand, 15 of dirt, 30 of savanna. Okay. 1 tile of water. Stuff that over there in that corner for no particular reason. 4 of sand, 15 of dirt. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. That should do it. Now, pair of kangaroos. Assign the zookeeper. Needs more foliage, perhaps more rocks, not enough shelters. Okay, what kind of shelter did the kangaroo need? Lean-to. All right. Go ahead and give it the larger size of lean-to. They don't mind having more shelter than they need. Rock counts. It needs 1 large rock. Which will jam over here in the corner. And they need grass tree or equivalent. Okay, what is their actual preferred or the hard, whatever you want to call it? These are large trees, so we don't want to use those if we can avoid it. So the grass tree is an acceptable alternative. They should only need 4 tiles of this. Okay. Once again, proves it's unable to properly calculate foliage amounts. However, that gets us 90% suitability. That's not half bad. Okay, guest happiness is at 91 already. So that's pretty good. Now, 7 more exhibits. And 2 more guest happiness points, and we've won. However, it's 10:40, so I think we're going to finish this zoo next week. We've got the core of the zoo down. We got 3 starter exhibits. We've got our most important money-making structure, which isn't making a whole lot of money right now. That's the problem. This place can have a real tough time because, like, as a whole, how much space is going to be forced between everything. We're going to have basically 0 space for decoration. I might move this path over closer there. We can fit 1, maybe 2 decent-sized exhibits here. This is where the gift shop is going to go, which I'm going to go ahead and put that there so I don't forget it. Boom, gift shop. But anyway, this is where the next couple exhibits are going to go. Then we're going to put 1 probably exhibit in here. And then I'm going to try to fit 2 exhibits in here. Probably saltwater crocodile along the long, skinny one down this side. And then some kind of 40 tile exhibits on this side. We just got the 95 guest happiness, 25k money drop. That is insane, actually. That is huge. It'll buy us another couple exhibits that we wouldn't have been able to buy for a while. Okay, well, we take those. Anyway, I'm going to save the game. This will overwrite the bad at time management save because that's its intended purpose. If I have to carry a zoo over between yeah, the bad at time management save is the one I use for if I have to carry a zoo over between 2 streams. We have the please breed one, which I'm sure will be reused for when we get around to the breeding the giant pandas scenario. And the stop dying, you lazy zoo is for, we had a scenario where we had to have 2 of a bunch of different pairs. Like, 2 of a bunch of different pairs, whatever. We had to have 2 of a bunch of different animals. You know, a pair of this, a pair of that, a pair of the other thing. And they kept dying of old age, and I would miss it, and then I would realize I only had 1 of them. And I was worried about that happening near the end, so that saves a little bit away from the end of the scenario. Anyway. Next week. I think we have a pretty good start on that zoo. We should be able to bang it out without too much trouble. We have 2 years to do it in. We only need 7 more exhibits. We already have met the guest happiness requirement. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to maintain it, more or less. Anyway. But that's for next week. Tomorrow is Friday, and that means EDF. Should be a good bit of fun. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we'll engage in more turn-based mech stuff with what is that game called again? Phantom Brigade, which has an update queued. Interesting. Major update today. Phantom Brigade 2.2. New primary weapon, stake launcher. Causes crashes and can pin enemies to walls. New mobility subsystem, bulldoze thruster. Break through structures and knock enemies to the ground. Okay. New optional missions, remote assistance contracts. Take command of an allied squad, remote skirmish for specific rewards. New test range, test drive your mech loadouts, pilot combos, and a shooting range. Okay, that'd be interesting to try out different weapons. New action cameras, don't care. New underground maps. Okay. And controller support, don't care about that either. Okay. Those are the highlights. The actual patch notes go much longer. I don't know if I'll bother reading them or not. Certainly not right now. Okay, so Phantom Brigade got a patch. I didn't really expect to see that. Some of those changes sound like they might be interesting. I guess we'll see when we get there. There's an achievement to have 100 missiles in the air at one time. I need to get that. I don't know if I actually need to get that. You would need to have multiple missile launchers on every mech. And you would need to salvo an awful lot of missiles. I certainly can't get that with the missile launchers I have available now. I would need something a lot more vigorous to do that. A lot more missile launchers with a lot more missiles in each of them. If I have the launchers to do it, I might try. Anyway. Monday, of course, will be some Crab Champions. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see. I don't think I have anything planned for those 2 days yet. And then next Thursday, we'll be back for the Island Zoo. And then maybe another scenario after that. We are getting into the point where the scenarios are going to take 2 and eventually 3 in-game years, which is pretty long. But anyway, we're not that far off from unlocking the mystery animals, though. For tonight, though, what do we got for options? It looks like Noms is streaming more Skyrim. And he is currently standing in a very large group of players. So I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like they're all standing around in the front of, where do I call it? Solitude. Yeah, let's go find out what Noms is doing. hopefully, I see you all back here tomorrow for some EDF shenaniganry. And I will see you all later. Good night and goodbye.